Alright, so as you may have ascertained, today we are going over a game that was played quite a long time ago. Don't ask when, I have no idea. Or do I? Nope, I have no idea. All I can tell you with any certainty is that Black is a player that we have seen once or twice before. And if you regularly study these kind of things, maybe you've seen them a lot before. And that is Huang Longshi. Now, for those of you who may not be aware of who he is, or I should say was, he is a player not as appreciated in his time, but looking back on his games, it has been deemed that he was indeed one of the Go Masters. His play was that good. If you can't tell from his name, he was also Chinese, and we're going to appreciate one of his games today. Now, for those of you who regularly look over pro games, I feel the need to point out that what you are going to see here today is very, very unusual. And the reason for that is back when he was playing Go, things started off quite differently. For example, the game began with the board you see before you right now. 4 stones, opposing corners. So yes, we have opposing corners, and white goes first. So very, very unusual game right from the beginning of the game. But not only is it unusual for that reason, you're also going to find that it's unusual for how they handle everything, from approaching corners to fighting. There'll be similarities, but I think you'll find the game is very, very not your norm. For example, rather than answer the approaching stone, instead Black is going to approach the opposing corner, and that is going to be a very big feature throughout the game, throughout most of these games. Now here, we would probably consider pincering, or maybe backing off. Maybe try Sente so we can go back and follow the stone up. Instead, white plays the attachment. One of my most hated moves. I hate the attachment out of the 4/4. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Black plays Hane. White extends. Black extends. Of course, white drops down. Black extends up. You can see what he's doing here. He's getting influence to kind of put some pressure on the approaching stone. Which is also why white does not respond over here, but takes his base, thus trying to interrupt what Black seems to be doing over here. So it seems like the question now is, what are we doing here? And how can we fix it? Because already it seems like a very uncomfortable game for Longshi, right? A little bit, maybe? Maybe it's a little bit? How are we possibly going to try to fix the shape that we have here? Because that's a move that we want for ourselves, right? If we're Black, we would love a move around here. But unfortunately, we have been denied. Absolutely denied. So what do we do now as Black? If you are thinking, maybe jump out, maybe Hane, not push and cut because you open up the cutting point there. We would like to push and cut because this sequence on the right hand side is missing a defensive move, right? We would like to, right? That's what the Aji is right now. Fight with H3. The No, not quite. Not quite. Well, we want to push through and cut, but we can't because that doesn't work, right? So what black decides to do is try to make it work. And thus, we are in for a very interesting game. I was going to say awkward, but let's go with interesting instead. A very honest move. We can see why he wants to play it. White drops down and defends. Black says poke. White blocks. Black extends. Now we've got the cut protected. The cut is now completely protected. Why not just Tiger's Mouth to defend? Okay. It sounded loud on my end. That sounded quite loud on my end. I'm sorry if that blew out your ears. But thank you for the follow. Let's see. Let's go back and look at that then. Why not just this to defend? Problem with just this, doesn't apply a lot of pressure. I mean, white could instantly go back and defend here now. And then what? I guess we could try to keep things complicated. Doesn't seem like it's that difficult to handle, though. And then the question resumes, then what? Then what, then what, then what? So it's a tough position. It's a bit of a tough position to deal with, right? So instead, oops, totally wrong move. Bloop. Get rid of that one, get rid of that one. So instead, black's like, you know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try and defend here in a way that threatens your base. White said, okay, I'll respond. We got the push. Opened up the cut point. He extends up because now we can Hane at the head of 2 stones, right? White says, okay, I'll respond. Protect the cutting point now that it works. Which allows Longshi to Hane at the head of 2. Like so. So white then has to defend himself. So he plays the Atari. And we connect. Extend back to defend the stones. We play the Atari, then we're opening these stones up here to capture. Black follows, getting some influence for himself. White plays the Hane. Now, when I was watching this, when I was first looking for the game and transcribing it to SGF, because I would get these games from a essentially a game record file, which has like all the moves listed on it with like their move numbers. When I was looking at this, it looked like I don't know. This made me uncomfortable because like we're pushing white over to our corner while we have a weak point behind, right? But black defends with a large knight because they loved large knights back in the day. However, that opens up the cutting point. So alright. Have to defend. Get to extend. Kill the 1 stone. And similarly kill the 1 stone. So it seems, right off the bat, that this opening sequence is very, very bizarre, and maybe even a little bit looks like a Q game. Doesn't it? But unlike a Q game, we can see exactly what they were going for, right? Q games are random. This was played because we were threatening the cutting point. White noticed the cutting point and protected. That right there is unlike a Q game in and of itself. Now we're protecting shape, not leaving much Aji behind. But yes, there are some respects of this that do look a little bit bizarre. Such as the poke. Forcing move, but bizarre. Poked in Sente. Now at this point I would be anticipating some kind of approach. But they really do love getting into fights in these games. I noticed they are a bit more aggressive. Well, you can tell right from the way the game began off. They're quite a bit more aggressive than that. So we have this instead, threatening to go underneath the stones. White defends his corner. Black responds. White says, "You should not have responded. That was too slow," and approaches. So once again we're getting into a fight. By choosing to approach here, this far away from the corner, he's leaving the invasion open. Rather than just trying to get some territory here, maybe for potential extension, he drops down because there's still Aji in that corner. So they're all about weaknesses, it looks like. And shape. It's like white comes in, black doesn't even care. He goes and attacks the shape. Now where is this going to lead? White drops down, denying a solid connection to the two stones. Can no longer connect up that solidly anymore. Pushes up, threatening to escape. Now we have a lot to read. Can we play this move? Whoops, I bumped the stones. Can we play this or this and expect decent results? This is where we have to read a little bit. If we play here, black can threaten to drop down. And then there's an issue. Because we can't protect the cutting point, right? If we protect the cutting point, we're in a lot of trouble. If we decide to, let's say, play here, then we have to read out both this cut, and we get the solid connection over here. And if we do solidly connect there, can this corner still live after it connects back? So we kind of lose everything and have really bizarre shape. So white says, nope, you get to leave. Is this a famous game? I have absolutely no idea. I have a bunch of his games that I've been transcribing, and I picked one. I have no idea if this is a famous game or not. So white connects. His group's on up. Black plays the Hane, even though he's getting rid of a stone. He's not just going to play here. Otherwise, whoops. Otherwise a lot, actually. We could even play a forcing move here at this point, right? And then maybe go back and attack. Wait, one too many. Yeah, we played there, that was there. Instead we played here, there we go. We give up the one stone. So we can Atari and Sente. Why does white connect with S4 instead of R5? Let me look at the... At this point, I would wonder, do we like this? Do we like this now for white? Is this a good shape? Is this a good shape? Because it looks like if we don't respond there again, we're going to lose our corner. Or at the very least, there's a ton of Aji in there. And that seems kind of scary. There's a lot of endgame back in there. I think he was trying to protect his shape. Alright, so we got that. We also got Sente, thankfully. And now, rather than play here for a base, rather than kick and try to use this as influence, he plays the cap. This move here would be great for white. So he took it for himself. White attaches because we're trying to put pressure on the two stones. Seems like white's happy to make us stronger. Shape points. Making ourselves a table. But rather than just sacrifice this off and then try and make a large area on the bottom, black tries to fight back. This allows white to turn. Black comes out again. White's looking to settle. Which black pokes the shape from. Because if this is a white stone, then we'll never be able to poke at this group ever again, right? Because we've got like eye shapes being made all over the place. So he takes the shape point for himself, forces a connection, and now we can keep putting pressure on this group. So these games are very much about shape. Plays the Atari. Black connects. Tries to keep pressure on black's middle group. Obviously has to connect. And then defends his cutting point. Because he's not completely safe either. These players are almost as aggressive, but they have much better sense of shape, their Dragonfly. So clearly the lesson here is you can be horribly aggressive. You just need a good sense of shape first as well. No, they are both Chinese players. Longsha was an ancient Chinese master that whose strength wasn't adequately appreciated until they reviewed his games after his death. After reviewing, they realized just how well he was able to read. They're able to more appreciate his plays. And yes, he was deemed one of the Go Masters. Which, I should point out, is a very short list to get onto. If you are on that list, you are one of the best of all time. And little things like this, I think, are super cool. Like little pokes to shape. Giving in a stone just so you have Sente, so you can go back and not lose Sente and attack. Now, unfortunately, because of the presence of the stone, we have to worry about Black's 4 stones. So he turns, and check out how cool this is. White turns, Black pushes, White pushes, Black doesn't even care, and allows these stones to die. Just to solidify himself in the middle. He realized White is getting a base here. White is out. I have shape problems. I'm going to trade the stones in the territory here to solidify myself and get Sente and do other things on the board now. Not a trade I would be comfortable with. He has Sente, so he gets to approach. And then Black finds himself under attack. Because this shape is still a little bit unsettled, right? It kind of needs something like this in order to be nice and solid. So when Black approaches here, once again the game goes all about shape again. And White asks the question, can I poke your shape? Can I poke that shape? These guys frigging love shape. Now obviously something like this would be too passive. Because a lot of pressure then being applied to the Blackstone. That's a lot we've lost here. Because at this point you have to figure that's not worth very much because we're going to get this in. And then we're just going to like eke out that maybe in endgame. Very, 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 very tiny. If your first reaction here is to defend, then you're probably going to lose the game. Because that is a very, very submissive move to play on this particular board where we've been doing nothing but fighting the entire time. So Black's like, alright, let's see where this leads. Diagonal for connection. Now we defend because he made himself stronger, and we can envision cutting this off now. So the one stone makes all the difference. Hey, glad you get to watch live. Now it's White's turn to follow up. How would you follow this up? How would you take advantage of this? You have Sente now. What do we do down here? Any ideas? Any ideas? Because we could do things like pincer, we could do things like lean. We could play away. I don't know how that shot out of my hand. Well, the stones were looking nice for a while until I threw a stone across the board. Began bowling, I guess. So what do we do? 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 It should bear mentioning that this is probably Sente for black. Nuclear Tsuji. Should bear mention that this is probably Sente for black because of double Hane there, right? C14? Oh god, what's C14? C14 is to play over here. Okay, I can tell you right now, you're still not thinking back far enough. I have yet to look at a game of Longsha's where they played the small knight. If they're gonna play away, they're gonna play the large knight. That is just standard. This is, I guess, considered like what we would consider now to be orthodox. The large knight was just what everybody played. Nowadays we wouldn't because we're horrified by how much Aji is left behind in the 3-3 and how easy it is to reduce and things like that. But yeah, I don't think I've seen a single game of Longsha's where anyone plays the small knight on the 4-4. Kick is dangerous because we can envision where the kick is going to go. You play large knight, remember. This is what we would expect for their continuation, right? And then things like this are going to be normal, I suppose. Seems like we're nice and solid here now. Maybe we get the 3-3. Instead, welcome to the other move they love. Instead, they just play the cap. Such a ridiculously honest move. The cap says, you know what? I would like you to settle here because I would really like to extend. Alright, so we cap. We attach. If we could split this, that'd be great. Sorry about the kids' voices that are probably coming across on the microphone. If you can't tell on stream, you'll probably be able to on YouTube. All I can say in my defense is the window sucks and lets in just about any noise that occurs on the other side of it. Alright, so we defend. And now note, this is Gote, because this is a fairly nice, words! Oh god, words. Base, there we go. Oh my god, found it. I did miss one thing though. After the attachment here, he does extend up because it's Sente. There we go. Then we go back and play here. And then we connect. There. Slightly out of order, sorry about that. Yeah, so now our base is completely solid, so we're not going to connect here, right? Because this is clearly strong. Oh, by the way, black doesn't play twice. So, cap, attach, Hane, extend, 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 and now it's white's move. If we were to play here, then you know our opponent's going to play something like this. Only they're a lot more aggressive. For all I know, they would play here into there. And if we play a solid connection, I don't know, he might even play here. I wouldn't rule it out. But at the very least we would play this, right? At the very least, at the very least. So he doesn't connect, and instead approach. This has a shape problem, and these people are all about the shape, so no one should be surprised that Longshi goes after the shape. White attaches, also trying to protect his cutting point. Hane. Bends. Saves his stone. Also opens up things in the corner because of the shape point here. Looking at these games, if you, and I mean this sincerely, if one of the problems in your game is shape, you should go over these old games. Because they will beat shape into your head if it's the last thing they do. Maybe not so much the 3-4, because obviously it always opens up with the diagonal 4-4 points, but they're all about shape. Is it White's turn? I think so. We just descended there, right? Yeah. White plays the Hane. Black's like, I can push. We block. Now there's a shape problem. So he pokes the shape point. Forces White to connect. Excellent timing. He's just wrecking all of the shape points that White thought he owned. Whoops. I'm sorry, White didn't play his move. There we go. No, I did not just drop that. Oh my god, I did. I should not go to a tournament in person until I learn how to not drop stones and fire them across the board. Alright. White's move now? Yeah, okay. So Atari, connect, don't drop it, thank you. Does that still look neat? Yeah, I guess so. Alright, so we got a connection here. White then feels like he's still in the driver's seat, right? He's like, I've got shape on the outside. And now we're fine, right? It looks like we're doing pretty good here. But again, it's all about that stupid shape. Now we're harassing White some more. Plays the Hane. I love this move. It connects and threatens to, yeah, it connects, and at the same time it also threatens to cut. While making this part of the base that much stronger. Like, if we played here, then we're opening up things like Aji here, and Aji here later, because there'll be the cut on either side of this. Right? Because we'll have Atari connect, and then if we go back into live, maybe we can play this, because we're going to threaten to cut on either side. But instead, we have this, which keeps this part of the base extremely strong, while also threatening. So it's a small thing, but oh my god, it's cute. That move is just so cute. Push, block, connection, and into trying to live. We get surrounded. Now we have to live, so we push, and we get blocked. Black says, I'm alive right now, and defends the corner. Here's a question for you guys. Why is he convinced he's alive right now? Is our beloved Longsha overplaying? Why is he convinced right now? Why is he convinced he's alive? How do we know he's alive right now? I'll even help you out. This is White's next move. How are we so friggin' convinced that we're alive? Because he played away, so he must be alive. And good evening, Prophet Creed. A15 is Sente. I'm guessing A15 is over on the left-hand side, so yeah. Yeah. Dragonfly gets it. This is Sente. However, there is a danger to that being Sente. Play the Atari. Play the Atari. Play the Atari. Yeah. Take. And the Atari. And the take. Bit of a picnic co for White. Because this is only Sente if White connects, then we get to live here, right? But if White connects, then we're only after, like, this stone for White and trying to keep those stones for Black. So we're going on a bit of a picnic here. Bit of a picnic. Why do I have a black stone in my hand? Oh, we just captured it, right? Okay. So White says, poke your corner. Black says, no. Black says... Black says, absolutely not screwing with this. Because you can't really fight this, right? Because you can't fight that cut. If you play a move, he ignores and takes, that means this is going to die. Because if you can't cut here, because those stones are dead, then you have to go back here and live. So we can't really fight this. This is such a huge freaking co. And with this sequence, anyone who thought this was a Q game probably changed their minds. So, okay. Black says, nope, I need to live. Which means these stones are now White's. White stones. I have no idea if those are on... Yep, they're good. Okay. Black doesn't care. He's just going to calmly take some middle for himself. White's like, I'm going to poke you. And now, I had so much trouble finding this next move. I had so much trouble finding this next move because, like I said, this is a single page that has all of the move numbers on it, right? That's how I was able to transcribe the SGF. And the next move wasn't over here. I hate it when they do that when you're looking for the next moves. because it could be anywhere. But he does not answer this. This attempt to cut and kill off those stones. He does not answer that. Instead, he pokes at the cutting point. Connects because we have bad shape here for black. Having to defend. Same thing, having to defend. Before going back and defending. No pushings and cuttings and thingies like that. Defends his base, threatens a cut. Throws in. But as you can see, we're fairly good here. I think that's what we do, right? Yeah, we do. White is in endgame mode. He is so satisfied with his points. We're just reducing and reducing and reducing. And how cool is that, by the way? That's really cool, because if we try to kill this... then we're dead. If we try to kill that, there's no way we're holding on to that. It's not happening. Not happening. Put it completely out of your mind. So, black plays the honey over on the outside. Free moves. Black takes advantage. White takes advantage. Forcing moves all the way. More forcing moves all the way. Now we have to live because we've lost our base. So we Hane. And now we have to live. Looks pretty painful, but we still have the cut available to us now. Right? So we need to weather the storm and see where that cut leads us. Takes advantage of the cut because that seems like it's very important shape. Black has no choice but to Atari away. And then go back and make two eyes. Very painful with all those stones. Hey, Lara. And now white has Sente. So he goes back and tries to save the stones. And black has to profit off this attack. He decides not to just run away, but to go after shape again. White plays the Hane. Threatens to take some stones. Play the Atari. I think. Yes. Black uses this to try to build up some more in the middle. Cuts, I think. Yes. Okay. Plays the Atari. These stones are now gone. Good to take. And then we finally go back and defend. So a little bit of an unusual variation. We're getting a little bit more influence in the center, as we can see here, for black. But it is definitely painful. It is definitely painful. White continues his path to endgame. Black defends. White moves in to completely end this. Black tries to cut. And defend his middle. And defend his middle. Middle is now defended. White is now profiting. Two stones are now dead. But in exchange for the two stones, we did keep all the center territory that we were trying to obtain for ourselves. Is J3 not getting big? What's J3? I have to look at... Give me a minute. I have to look at OBS in order to always look at, see what you're referring to. Well, we are getting to that too. We are getting to that as well, yes. We are getting to that question as well. Let me find out where I am in that record. I'm replaying most of this from memory. Okay. White plays under. Black defends his two eyes. More endgame. K12 doesn't work? What's K12? K12. K12 is no. No. If we do K12, you can't see my mouse. If we play K12 right now as black, we Atari here as white. We have to connect there as black. We Atari here as white, and then black has to connect, and then we take. Alright, so we're getting endgame, endgame, endgame. I'm gonna go back and take the stone. Black gets in some endgame of his own. Black connects. Now there's Aji in the corner. White defends against the Aji that you just mentioned earlier, which gives Sente back to black. So black attaches. And connects underneath. Huge endgame. Oops. Throw in. And take. And defend. For some reason, I've got a glitch on the left-hand side. I don't know how long that's been there, but that's irritating. I guess the light subtly changed from when I began this, because Yeah, sorry about that. I guess the light suddenly changed from the window. I had it open a little bit. My bad. It threw off the light and thus the green screen. But the game's almost over, so I'm not going to mess with it. Block. Take the stone. White plays Hane. Don't have to respond to that, so when white connects, we have Sente again, allowing him to save his stone. Forcing move, white has to protect. Threaten to go in and cut. White responds. We get to poke. White responds. Play the Hane. Now we can't play this move as white. And he will absolutely have to go back and play here again, otherwise the Atari and then the Descent. Forcing move. Forcing move. And now here's something interesting. The game right now is ridiculously close by our current standards of 6.5 Komi. If you do not have 6.5 Komi, like right now, I think if you were to plug in this game into an what is it called? Into a score estimator, you'll see it's dead even. Even with our current Komi. It's dead even. Why did white connect to living groups? Oh, that one? That right there is a reasonable question. And I have no idea. I do know that 6.5 Komi aside, the game ends and black wins. This is the final move of the game. Maybe with 6.5 Komi we continue. We could continue. Oh, keep B split. Maybe endgame stuff, yeah. Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, very even game. Very even game. I debated about showing this one because of the questionable ending. But I really liked the shape that we saw in this game. Like, this was definitely a game going after shapes. And how strong it is to have a very good knowledge of shape. And how you can turn interesting little attacks around when your opponent's trying to like really expand and play light by going after shapes. The integral came at the end of the game. Yes, you did. Don't worry, we'll be up on YouTube probably by a couple of days. Give me a couple of days. The next video to release on my channel is a basics video. I already have it uploaded. Because black's ahead. If you take away the 6.5 Komi that we have nowadays, the game is dead even. If you lower the Komi, then it's in black's favor. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this game. We kind of got off on a tangent at the end there. I do have a question for you guys, though. I do have a question for you fine folks, though. Who or which Go Master do you want to see after Longshi? Do you have a preference? Do you guys have preferences? Do you not care? Do you want to be surprised? What do you guys think?